Welcome to Diary TV, your home for the latest in sport, entertainment, and more. I am Ogedekaro Asowe, and today we're diving into a story that got Nigerian football fans buzzing with renewed hope. The Super Eagles' dream of qualifying for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be hosted across the USA, Canada, and Mexico has just received a massive boost. Reports are swelling that Group C leaders, South Africa's Bafana Bafana, have internally accepted a 3-point deduction from FIFA, a development that could reshape the race for qualification in Africa's Group C. But this isn't just about the points on the table, it's about reigniting the passion of a nation desperate to see the green and white soar on the global stage again. After missing the 2022 World Cup, Nigeria's journey to 2026 has been anything but smooth. But this latest twist involving South Africa's error could be the lifeline the Super Eagles need. Stay tuned as we break it down, the details, the stake, and what is next for Nigeria's World Cup aspiration. Let's get to the heart of the story. On March 20th, 2025, South Africa's Bafana Bafana secured a 2-0 win over neighbours Lesotho in a crucial 2026 World Cup qualifiers at Peter Mokaba Stadium. It was a result that solidified their position at the top of Group C with 13 points after 6 matches. But there was a catch, a very big one. South Africa fielded midfielder Teboho Mokoena, a key player for Mamelodi Sundowns, for 82 minutes in that match. The problem was Mokoena was ineligible to play. According to FIFA's rulebook, specifically subsection 9 of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers disciplinary code, a player who receives 2 yellow cards in separate matches must serve a mandatory 1-match suspension. Mokoena picked up his first yellow card in the 45th minute during South Africa's 2-1 win over Benin Republic on Matchday 1 in November 2023. He then received another one in the 52nd minute of a 3-1 victory against Zimbabwe on Matchday 4 in June 2024. These 2 bookings meant that Mokoena should have been sidelined for Lesotho's match. Instead, due to what South Africa coach Hugo Broos called a technical oversight, Mokoena was named in the starting lineup, playing a pivotal role in the win. The Lesotho's Football Association quickly raised the issue, submitting a formal inquiry to FIFA and CAF, though reports suggest that they mixed the 24 hours window to lodge an official protest. But despite this, FIFA's regulation doesn't always require a formal complaint for actions to be taken, as we have seen in past cases. For example, when Nigeria faced a similar case in 2017, losing 3 points for feeding an ineligible Sheun Abdullahim in a World Cup qualifier against Algeria. And now reports are emerging as recently as May 23, 2025, and it's indicating that the South African Football Association, SAFA, has internally accepted a 3-point deduction that is likely coming. According to sources, SAFA acknowledged the error and is bracing for FIFA's ruling, which could see that 2-0 win over Lesotho overturned to a 3-0 technical victory for Lesotho. The world would be moved by this South Africa's drop points from 13 to 10, and it's shaking up the Group C standing and giving Nigeria a golden opportunity to close the gap. While South Africa's blunder has opened the door, Nigeria Super Eagles have their work cut out for them. The team qualifying campaign this season has honestly been underwhelming. With only 7 points from a possible 18 after 6 matches, Nigeria is sitting 4th in Group C, trailing behind South Africa, who has 13 points, Benin Republic, who has 10 points, and Rwanda, who also have 10 points. Then followed by Lesotho and Zimbabwe respectively. The Super Eagles' journey have been marred by inconsistency, with 4 draws and 1 win and 1 loss in their 6 games. To make matters worse, they've had 3 head coaches steering the ship. Jose Mourinho, who guided Nigeria to the final of the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, started the campaign with a lackluster draw against Lesotho and Zimbabwe in November 2023. Former winger Finidi George took over but couldn't even turn the tide, managing a draw against South Africa and a shocking 2-1 loss to Benin Republic in June 2024 before stepping down. Now we got coach Eric Chelle, the current head head coach who gave fans a spark of hope with a solid 2-0 victory over Rwanda in Kigali on Matchday 5. Goals from Victor Osimhen and an inspired performance from Ademola Lookman showed what this team is capable of, but our optimism was cut short. Just days later on Matchday 6, Nigeria stumbled again, conceding a 90-minute equalizer to Zimbabwe in a 1-1 draw in Uyo. Osimhen had put the Eagles ahead in the 74th minute, but Tawanda Shiwera's late strike for Zimbabwe left fans frustrated and Nigeria's World Cup hopes hanging by a thread. The numbers don't lie. Nigeria's 7 points leaves them 6 points behind South Africa and 1 point each behind Rwanda and Benin. To secure an automatic qualification spot, the Super Eagles must win all 4 of their remaining matches. It's a tall order, but it's not impossible. Even then, they would need South Africa to drop points, and this potential deduction could be the game changer that Nigeria needs. So, what does all this mean for Nigerians' World Cup dream? Let's break it down. If FIFA enforces that 3-point deduction, South Africa's tally drops to 10 points, putting them just 3 points ahead of Nigeria. Lesotho will gain 3 points, moving to 8, and Rwanda and Benin remains in contention. The shift would make Group C one of the tightest in African qualifiers, with everything to play for in the final 4 match days. Nigeria remaining fixtures are no walk in the park though. They will face Rwanda at home, Benin at home, Lesotho away, and a blockbuster clash against South Africa in Johannesburg on Matchday 8, scheduled for September 5th, 2025. This second leg against Bafana Bafana could be their defining moment. A win in South Africa coupled with deduction could see Nigeria leapfrog their rivals, especially if they maximize points in their other games. But it's not just about the games, it's also about the goal differences, which could be a tiebreaker if Nigeria and South Africa end up leveled. South Africa currently boasts a goal difference of +5 compared to Nigeria's +1. The Super Eagles need to be clinical in attack, with players like Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, and Bright Osai Samuel stepping up to score and inflate that margin, please. Coach Eric, a former Malian international, has been very vocal about the need for unity and urgency. In a recent interview, he admitted that the qualification is still possible, but it will require total commitment from the players. We have the talent, but we need to play with heart and focus, Coach Eric said. South Africa's mistake is an opportunity, but we must take our destiny into our own hands. And if Nigeria can't secure the automatic spot, finishing second in Group C would offer a playoff bet. But that is a risky part. Only 4 of the best second place team across Africa's 9 group will advance to the playoff, and Nigeria's current 7 points may not stack up against stronger group. And the message is clear: the Super Eagles must win, and they must win big. Over in South Africa, the mood is one of cautious resignation. According to a report on May 22, 2025, SAFA has internally accepted the likelihood of a 3-point deduction. An anonymous source said, "An error was made and we can't go back. The points are gone. As tough as that is to accept, there is more to play for to ensure qualification." South Africa's coach Hugo has shifted focus to the remaining games, urging his team to move forward. After the Lesotho's controversy, Mokoena was notably excluded from the squad for South Africa's Matchday 6 clash against Benin, which they won 2-0. Perhaps a preemptive move to avoid further scrutiny. Hugo, a seasoned tactician, remains optimistic, noting that South Africa's unbeaten run in the qualifier, 4 wins and 1 draw, really shows their strength. However, the deduction will be a blow to their hopes of returning to the World Cup for the first time since hosting in 2010. A point led over Lesotho and 2 over Benin would put immense pressure on their remaining fixtures, especially the showdown with Nigeria on September 5th, 2025. For South Africa, this is about damage control and proving that they can still top the group. As we wrap up today's coverage on Diary TV, one thing is clear. Nigeria's Super Eagles have been handed a lifeline, but the road to the 2026 World Cup is still steep. South Africa's error with Teboho Mokoena could tip the scale, but it's up to Coach Eric and his squad to seize the moment. With 4 matches left, including a pivotal clash in Johannesburg, the Super Eagles have a chance to rewrite their story. Will they soar to North America, or will this be another mixed opportunity? Only time will tell. I remain your host, Ogenekara Asowe, and this has been your World Cup qualification update on Diary TV. Stay tuned for more sport news, and let's keep sharing for the Super Eagles.